Stop for a moment and listen. There is a quiet force guiding you, moving unseen through the rhythm of your life. It has been present in every choice, every struggle, every moment when patience felt impossible. Today, that quiet guidance reaches a peak, a point where patience, discipline, and inner alignment are finally recognized. Something you have been building, often in silence, is now ready to transform your path. In this video, you will uncover truths rarely spoken aloud, hidden principles from the ancient Shaolin path that shape strength, clarity, and mastery. You will learn how stillness can reveal the answers that chaos hides, how energy flows in ways that only the mindful can detect, and how subtle alignment between thought, body, and spirit can awaken doors long closed. This is a journey not just of knowledge but of presence, where each insight becomes a tool to navigate life with precision and calm power. You will discover how to recognize the invisible signs guiding you toward breakthroughs, how discipline acts as the silent engine of your achievements, and why the most profound victories often appear in quiet moments unseen by the world. Each principle carries a deeper purpose, a hidden message waiting for those willing to pause and observe. By the end of this video, you will not only see your progress with new eyes, but you will also feel the alignment between your actions and the higher guidance that has always accompanied you. Shaolin wisdom, mindfulness practices, and personal mastery converge here, offering lessons that elevate your inner strength and spiritual clarity. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient truths meet modern transformation. Subscribe now and step fully into the path of presence, power, and profound awakening. There comes a moment when everything quiets, and suddenly you see yourself not as you appear to others, but as you truly are. It is subtle, almost fleeting, yet it carries the weight of 1,000 lessons. This is the moment of recognition, a silent acknowledgement that the struggles, the discipline, the unseen hours of practice have not been in vain. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the battles won within the mind and heart always arrive before the world notices. Inner victories are the first proof of mastery. You may have moved through days filled with repetition, patience, and restraint, unsure if your efforts mattered. Then, in a single instant, clarity strikes, a thought, a feeling, a realization that something within you has shifted. It can feel overwhelming, yet delicate, like the first rays of sunrise touching a mountain peak. The universe, or God, whispers approval in these quiet signs. A small victory, a moment of restraint when anger arose, a choice rooted in integrity, a breath taken with awareness instead of reaction, suddenly reveals its power. Pausing to honor these moments is essential. Too often people rush past them, seeking larger victories or external recognition, blind to the subtle confirmations that their path is aligned. Every mindful action, every choice made with intention, builds toward this recognition. It is a signal that your discipline has taken root, that your spirit is awakening to its higher form. Shaolin masters understand this deeply. The triumphs that cannot be seen by others are the ones that matter most. They are the foundation upon which greater accomplishments are built, the quiet proof that your journey, though unseen, has always been guided and supported. In these moments, a stillness emerges, and within it, the truth becomes clear. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and the inner work you have tended so diligently is finally blossoming into awareness. Discipline is like the river carving through stone, quiet, persistent, often unnoticed, yet powerful enough to shape mountains over time. It moves unseen, guiding each action, each thought, each breath toward a destination that may not yet be visible. Shaolin teachings remind us that mastery is never sudden. It is cultivated in repetition, in attention to the smallest details, in the careful tending of the self day after day. Every stance practiced, every motion perfected, every moment of focus becomes a brick in the foundation of true strength. Consistency is the hidden engine of transformation. It does not seek applause, nor does it demand recognition. The student rising before dawn to train when the world sleeps. The practitioner who returns again and again to meditation or form. The one who chooses integrity in quiet moments. These are the ones who move closer to their destiny. Their progress is silent. their breakthroughs invisible until the moment arrives when the universe aligns to reveal what has been building in secret. Divine timing often honors those who keep walking the path without visible reward. There is a subtle force at work, responding to discipline more than to desire or urgency. It is in the steady rhythm of practice that the soul grows resilient, that awareness sharpens, that the inner self is prepared for the unfolding of opportunity. True power emerges from this quiet persistence. The world may overlook it, yet the disciplined heart knows its own progress. Each repetition, each effort made in stillness is a conversation with the unseen, a dialogue with the forces shaping destiny. Mastery is less about sudden leaps and more about the patient, faithful movement toward alignment, the cultivation of skill and presence, and the understanding that what is built in quiet will one day manifest with undeniable force. Discipline is the invisible current beneath every triumph, the engine that propels the soul forward even when no one is watching. There is a quiet strength in simply watching oneself. Mindfulness is not a task or a goal. It is the practice of observing thoughts, emotions, and actions as they arise, without judgment, without interference. In the stillness of attention, the mind becomes a mirror, reflecting the subtle movements of the heart and spirit. Shaolin teachings speak of this clarity. The warrior first masters the mind before the body, for without awareness, action is blind and effort can be wasted. When one becomes a witness to their own life, small shifts begin to reveal themselves. A choice made with patience instead of reaction, a moment of courage in the face of fear, a decision grounded in truth rather than impulse. These victories are often invisible to others, yet they quietly accumulate. Each subtle act of mindfulness strengthens the foundation of inner mastery, shaping the character more profoundly than any outward achievement. The divine whispers in these quiet moments, it is not the applause of the world that marks progress, but the recognition that arises within. By observing oneself, the soul becomes aware of growth that is unseen, of lessons absorbed, of resilience formed in silence. External validation may be fleeting, but inner awareness endures. It is a compass, guiding decisions, revealing patterns, and illuminating the path forward. Through mindfulness, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Even mundane routines, when observed with presence, reveal hidden layers of intention and mastery. Energy is no longer scattered, it is focused, measured, and aligned with the deeper currents of life. The moment spent witnessing oneself is a dialogue with the unseen, a reminder that the power to transform, to rise, and to harmonize is already within. Awareness, practiced with patience, becomes the bridge between effort and wisdom, the quiet force that shapes destiny before the world even notices. There is a strength in stillness that the world rarely recognizes. Shaolin wisdom teaches that stillness is not idleness or weakness. It is a deliberate practice of preparation, alignment, and deep listening. In the quiet, the mind ceases its restless chatter, and the body releases tension it did not know it held. This is the space where clarity emerges, where intuition sharpens, and where the subtle guidance of the universe can finally be heard. Moments of stillness are often where the greatest breakthroughs occur. When the noise of reaction fades, the heart and mind open to understanding beyond logic. A decision that seemed impossible becomes clear. A problem once tangled resolves itself, and the path forward appears without effort. The divine speaks softly, not in thunder or spectacle, but in the calm between breaths, in the awareness that arises when one stops chasing and begins observing. Stillness cultivates mastery over the self. It teaches restraint, patience, and the ability to respond rather than react. The warrior who trains in silence develops precision not only in movement but in thought. Energy becomes focused, attention becomes sharp, and each action gains purpose. Life, like water, flows more smoothly when guided by presence instead of impulse. The ordinary rhythms of the day can be transformed through stillness. A few breaths taken with awareness, a pause before speaking, a moment of reflection before acting, these small practices accumulate into profound inner power. They reveal the unseen currents, shaping experience, and allow alignment with forces beyond comprehension. In stillness, The self becomes a witness, a quiet observer capable of discerning truth from distraction. It is here that preparation meets opportunity, that patience meets timing, and that mastery begins to unfold. The power of stillness lies not in doing less, but in perceiving more, seeing the world and oneself with unshakable clarity. Achievement often comes disguised as loss, and progress often requires surrender. True mastery begins when the ego, with its need for approval and its hunger for recognition, is set aside. Shaolin philosophy teaches that the mind clouded by pride cannot see clearly, and the heart entangled in desire cannot receive guidance. When attachment to outcomes is released, the spirit opens, creating space for deeper insight and alignment with forces beyond comprehension. The ego whispers constantly, urging comparison, judgment, and hurry. It measures value by applause, status, or possession, and in doing so, it blinds the practitioner to the subtle currents of growth already underway. Humility, by contrast, is a quiet strength. It does not diminish the self, it liberates it. By stepping back from the need to be seen or celebrated, one becomes attuned to lessons that are often invisible. The gentle nudges of intuition, the timely warnings of circumstance, and the guidance of the unseen. Divine messages often arrive when pride has been silenced and presence is full. A realization may surface unexpectedly, a decision may feel effortless, or clarity may emerge in the midst of uncertainty. These moments are invitations, not rewards, for the soul willing to relinquish control. The greatest insight rarely comes when striving for recognition, but when listening with openness and stillness. Letting go of the ego is not surrender to weakness. It is the cultivation of inner freedom. It is a practice of observing without attachment, of acting without expectation, and of moving through life guided by awareness rather than validation. The path of mastery requires this release, for only in humility can one hear the quiet truths that shape destiny. Pride may demand attention, but presence and alignment carry the power to transform, guiding every step toward authenticity and spiritual awakening. Energy is the unseen thread that weaves through every thought, every action, and every moment of life. Shaolin teachings emphasize guarding this energy carefully, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Just as a master protects the body in training, so too must the mind and spirit be shielded from forces that scatter attention or disturb inner harmony. Energy is not limitless. It is cultivated, conserved, and directed with intention. The world is full of subtle influences that drain or misalign this energy. Negative patterns linger in the mind, doubt creeps silently into decisions, and external pressures from people, expectations, or circumstance can disrupt focus without notice. Left unguarded, these forces weaken the connection between intention and action, clouding judgment and slowing growth. Shaolin wisdom teaches that awareness is the first defense. By noticing when energy is being pulled away, one can intervene before it dissipates, reclaiming focus and presence. Protection of energy is both a practice and a discipline. Simple moments of pause, conscious breathing, and mindful awareness act as shields against distraction and influence. Boundaries are drawn not to isolate, but to preserve clarity, allowing the inner self to work unhindered. When energy is focused and aligned, breakthroughs become possible, insight surfaces more readily, creativity flows more freely, and the discipline applied in silence bears visible results. Mastery of energy is a quiet, ongoing practice. It requires observation, restraint, and the conscious choice to let go of what does not serve growth. By guarding the mind against negativity, the heart against fear, and the spirit against misalignment, one creates a space where purpose and guidance converge. This vigilance is not fear, it is presence, the ability to navigate life with precision and calm power. In protecting energy, the path to mastery becomes clear, steady, and resilient. Patience is a quiet power, often misunderstood as passivity or delay. Yet in the path of spiritual mastery, it is one of the most active and demanding disciplines. Shaolin wisdom teaches that growth cannot be rushed, The body, mind, and spirit must evolve in harmony with forces that operate beyond human control. Divine timing is precise, and what seems delayed is often aligning perfectly with what is needed. Waiting is not empty, it is filled with preparation. Every moment of patience cultivates skill, sharpens awareness, and strengthens discipline. The practitioner who waits with mindfulness does not stagnate. Every breath, every action, every reflection is a seed planted for future manifestation. The world may demand speed, but mastery demands rhythm, and the rhythm of the universe cannot be hurried. In these periods of stillness and endurance, the self grows resilient, focused, and attuned to subtle currents that escape the impatient mind. There is a hidden lesson in each pause: to observe without judgment, to act without urgency, and to refine the self quietly. Patience trains perception, teaching the practitioner to discern between impulse and purpose, between fleeting opportunity and enduring truth. Even moments of discomfort, delay, or uncertainty are tools, shaping inner strength and teaching the timing of action. Divine guidance often waits for the heart to reach readiness. The message is clear. Patience is preparation. It is not about waiting for life to unfold, but about aligning the self so that when opportunity arrives, it can be met with clarity, strength, and presence. Mastery grows in these quiet intervals, and the disciplined heart learns that every breath taken in patience is a step closer to the moment when effort, awareness, and opportunity converge. In this way, waiting is not a void, it is the foundation of enduring power. True mastery is born not from effort alone, but from the seamless alignment of thought, intention, and action. Shaolin philosophy teaches that the mind, body, and spirit must move together like a flowing river, each element supporting the other, each motion arising naturally from inner harmony. When this unity exists, action is effortless, precise, and resonant, carrying the full weight of purpose without resistance. Many strive tirelessly, yet find their progress stalled. The reason is often misalignment. The mind pursues one thing, the heart another, and the body acts without full awareness. In such cases, energy is scattered, and even the most disciplined efforts produce limited results. True alignment transforms action into a form of meditation, a state in which every choice and movement is coherent, deliberate, and connected to a deeper current. When thoughts, intentions, and actions are in harmony, the universe responds. Opportunities arise with clarity, guidance becomes discernible, and effort flows with efficiency. Divine reward follows alignment more than sheer toil, because the spirit recognizes not the struggle, but the precision of the self in motion. Each step, each breath, each decision becomes a reflection of inner clarity. Alignment requires ongoing awareness and humility. It demands constant checking of intentions, honest observation of habits, and the courage to adjust course when dissonance appears. The Shaolin path reminds us that mastery is a living practice, one that thrives not in isolated moments of achievement, but in the continuous weaving of thought, intention, and action. In the quiet, attentive mind, alignment reveals itself. The body moves with grace, the heart acts with clarity, and the spirit remains steady. This coherence is the bridge between discipline and results, between preparation and manifestation. When alignment is achieved, the path opens, and the force of intention becomes unstoppable, carrying the practitioner toward the fulfillment of purpose with effortless power. There is a hidden power in silence, a strength that the world rarely acknowledges. The most profound achievements often unfold quietly, away from attention, away from applause. Shaolin masters have long understood this truth. A monk may train for decades in solitude, performing the same movements, refining the same forms, yet no one may witness the depth of his mastery. Still, the results are undeniable, not because they are shown, but because they are real. Silent mastery is built in private, through dedication that does not seek recognition. Every disciplined repetition, every moment of mindful presence, every small act of integrity compounds into skill and wisdom that cannot be hurried or fabricated. The process is invisible, yet it carries an unshakable weight. It is in this quiet accumulation that true power takes root, forming a foundation so strong that when opportunity arrives, the practitioner is ready to embody it fully. God's message often arrives in the same way. The guidance and rewards of life respond to what has been built with sincerity and focus, rather than display. What has been nurtured in solitude now begins to manifest outwardly. The patience, the discipline, the careful tending of mind and spirit all converge to reveal the results of unseen labor. Recognition comes not as the goal, but as a natural consequence of alignment and mastery. Silent mastery teaches humility, resilience, and the understanding that external validation is not the measure of worth, it is the unseen effort, the private discipline, and the daily choices made with intention that shape destiny. The quiet work done in the shadows now carries the power to transform life, and the practitioner begins to witness the unfolding of rewards long prepared, the fruit of labor that was never performed for eyes other than one's own. Gratitude is a quiet force that multiplies the effects of every effort, every lesson, and every moment of growth. It is more than a fleeting emotion, it is a practice, a way of seeing the world and one's journey through the lens of presence and awareness. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the mind attuned to gratitude perceives life more deeply, recognizing the subtle currents of guidance, the hidden lessons in challenges, and the invisible support that shapes every step. When gratitude is cultivated, the ordinary becomes sacred. Each difficulty faced, each obstacle overcome, and each moment of patience or discipline is acknowledged as a stepping stone. The small victories, the ones unnoticed by the world, carry greater weight when held with appreciation. Even setbacks, when met with understanding, reveal insights that propel growth and deepen mastery. The practice of gratitude transforms experience from mere events into meaningful teachings, connecting the practitioner to forces beyond the visible. The heart that opens in gratitude also opens to blessings. Divine guidance flows more freely when the spirit is receptive, when attention is given to the gifts already present. By recognizing what has been received, the soul aligns with abundance, amplifying the power of intention and the clarity of perception. Gratitude is a lens that enhances awareness, sharpening understanding and heightening discernment. In daily life, this practice becomes a subtle but profound discipline, pausing to reflect on progress, to honor the unseen effort, to acknowledge support, and to appreciate the journey strengthens presence and focus. It turns mindfulness into a living, breathing awareness, allowing the practitioner to walk with humility, strength, and readiness. Through gratitude, the inner self becomes a magnet for deeper insight, spiritual growth, and divine guidance, transforming the quiet recognition of what exists into a pathway for what is yet to come. Every experience carries a lesson, and every challenge leaves its mark on the mind, heart, and spirit. Integration of wisdom is the quiet art of gathering these fragments, triumphs, setbacks, moments of clarity, and periods of doubt, and allowing them to form a whole. Shaolin philosophy teaches that mastery is not measured solely by victory, skill, or recognition, but by the ability to live in harmony with the teachings that life provides. Each lesson, no matter how small or difficult, becomes part of the foundation for deeper understanding. Life often unfolds in patterns that are easy to overlook. Without reflection, moments pass like water through fingers, leaving only memory. But when lessons are integrated, they are absorbed, internalized, and applied. The failures teach patience and resilience. The successes teach humility and presence. Even silence and stillness carry instruction for the attentive mind. Over time, these experiences merge into a seamless awareness, a form of wisdom that guides decision, action, and thought with clarity and precision. Divine insight often appears not as a dramatic revelation, but as a recognition that all paths taken, all efforts made, have converged to shape readiness for what comes next. What was once hardship now carries meaning, what was once unnoticed becomes a tool for discernment. Integration is the process of transforming experience into usable power, turning knowledge into action, and turning reflection into alignment with life's deeper currents. This wisdom becomes a living compass, Every step forward is informed not only by instinct or desire, but by a deep understanding of patterns, consequences, and principles. Mastery emerges naturally from this harmony, as the practitioner learns to move in accordance with life's rhythms rather than resisting them. The treasures of experience, when integrated, are no longer lessons of the past. They become the keys that unlock the next level of growth, awareness, and inner mastery. Every breakthrough begins quietly, shaped by patience, honed through discipline, and guided by mindful awareness. It is the alignment of thought, intention, and action that allows the path to unfold with clarity. God's messages often arrive in moments of stillness, whisper through reflection, and take form when we act with presence and purpose. Remember that mastery is not a single achievement, it is a journey. Each breath taken with awareness, each choice made with discipline, and each pause to observe your growth brings you closer to the extraordinary life you are destined to live. Even small, unseen steps carry weight, building the foundation for greater insight, strength, and fulfillment. Embrace the quiet power of stillness. Recognize the lessons hidden in challenges. Honor the progress you make in private, and allow your inner wisdom to guide every action. The journey of mastery is ongoing, and every mindful practice compounds into the life you seek. If this message resonates, let it become part of your daily rhythm. Move through life with presence, humility, and awareness, knowing that each moment is a step toward alignment and realization. Thank you for joining us on this path. For more guidance rooted in ancient wisdom and personal mastery, subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire and continue walking the journey with calm, focus, and purpose.